Hi guys, it's France. Welcome to this journal on Monday, week 131. As you can see, my beloved journal has no cover anymore. I talked about it in a blog post. You might want to check it out if you missed it. But for today's page, I'm starting by cutting out some pieces of scrap paper into squares. And then I'm using this Prima tool to scratch the edges to make them less regular and thicker. That will help me create texture on my spread. Before I glue them down, I apply first layer of decoupage glue all over my paper just to make sure that everything will stick down properly. And then using the same decoupage glue, I'm just sticking down the square pieces of paper. I am just sticking them down randomly. I have no prepared plan whatsoever as how I want my squares to look. I just go for it. Today's video is 15 minutes long and it took me an hour and 15 minutes to get the spread done, plus some drying time for the pastes. To push my squares back into the background, I'm applying a thin layer of gesso, really thin. I don't plan on taking out the whole color of the paper. I don't care if it's still visible or not. I just wanted to push the squares back to the background. And now I can go in with the real fun stuff. A first layer of modeling paste, and I'm applying a thin layer because first of all it will dry faster, and because second of all I know that I want to apply a second layer, and otherwise I will end up with too thick a layer for my little journal. I'm not looking for a smooth surface, on the contrary, that's why at some moments I'm holding my palette knife way too flat on the surface, just to make sure that it's not smooth. That will help me again to have more texture on the page. I did help the first layer to dry a little bit faster using my heat gun, but in a gentle way, not to cook the modeling paste. And now I'm applying, like I said, my second layer. Then I'm going in for yet another layer, and this time I'm using crackle paste. Now I'm not applying crackle paste everywhere, just randomly here and there. To get the best crackles possible, I did try to stay away with my heat gun. Well, at some point I just lost patience and I used my heat gun. Now I can go in with some color, and this is the Payne's Gray from the Fluid Acrylics by Deco Art. Now, if you want a complete list of all the colors and products that I used, you can hop over on my blog, where you'll find the complete list of ingredients. So I did dry it, and then went back in with a baby wipe to wipe a lot back off again. I really want to accentuate the texture that I have on my spread. And because I have all these different mediums, I have the gesso, I have modeling paste, and I have crackle paste, they will each react differently to the color that I applied on top of it. So when wiping, some parts will come off completely while other won't come off at all, depending on the medium that's underneath. It's the randomness of this technique that I like. You never know how much is going to come off or not. And then I'm going in with the dark gray value 3 in the middle of the spread and doing the exact same thing. Of course, I had to add some rusty feel to the page, so I'm going in with quinacridone gold, this time applying it with my finger so that I can really push it inside all the cracks that I have going on my spread. Now, at first I was a little bit shy and not applying too much color, but the longer I was doing this, the more color I started to apply, because I really liked how it was looking once it was getting into the cracks and the different textures that I had going on. And then I'm doing the same thing with some transparent yellow iron oxide to have a bit of a difference between the bright quinacridone gold and the gray that I have in the background. And then going back in with a baby wipe. Now my layer is really thin, and as you can see, I'm taking away almost all of the color. So once I'm done wiping, I'm adding some more color again, and this time in an even thicker layer, knowing that I will wipe less away. Now the camera makes it look as if I'm taking away all of that orangey color, but that's not the case. There was still quite some left on the paper, which you will see in the photos at the end. Then to give everything a really matte finish and to seal everything, I'm applying a layer of ultra matte varnish, which obviously you cannot see as it's a varnish. But it will give a different look in the end to the page, making everything really, really matte looking. I wanted to enhance the white a little bit again, so I'm going in with white crackle paint. Now apparently I haven't been treating my crackle paint well because it's a bit too thick to be paint. It used to be a bit more fluid than this. But I'm almost applying it in a dry brush technique. Really, really light. Just to obtain very, very small and light cracks. And then to add some black splatters, I'm going in with Mister, which is an acrylic-based spray ink. I'm using archival ink to darken up the edges of my spread. And I will also use it to enhance again the texture very lightly on my spread as well. I'm getting some thread ready that I want to use behind my little word, which is a very short word. And then going through my collection of fabric, I'm taking out this mini piece of cambric that I colorized for another project. And as you can see, I even keep the smallest pieces of cambric. Then randomly stamping two of my stamps. This is the romantic text. And I'm using, again, archival ink to do so. So all Stampotique stamps are wood-mounted stamps. I unmount, I don't know which is the right word, my stamps. And then put them on this cling foam. Because first of all, it's too many stamps for me to store. And second of all, I travel a lot with my stamps. And this makes it much easier to travel with. So this second stamp is my ticket for Paris, and I'm just randomly stamping some numbers on the page. Now I can apply my little word, and again I'm using decoupage glue to do so. So I had to check the date on my phone. And then quickly deciding where I want to put it, and I thought I was done, but no, I wanted to add some more rusty like splatters, so I'm going back in with the quinacridone gold to add these splatters. That's it for today. I hope you liked today's video. If so, please don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you here back next time. Ta-da!